Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more awe-inspiring wildlife adventures. There's only one thing to do if you're ever unlucky enough to stand face to face with a ferocious mountain lion. Our dreadful countdown begins when an unarmed hiker's peaceful trek turned into a nightmare. A chilling whisper of leaves alerts him to the presence of a mountain lion, lurking just beyond sight in British Columbia. The tension is so thick you can almost taste the fear in the air. His first instinct was to pull out his camera to capture the moment as soon as he spotted the sneaky animal slowly creeping up on him from the tall grass ahead. Wrong move. This moment becomes even more scary when the mountain lion decides to come in for a closer look. This is like facing death with no way of escape. One wrong move would have been this man torn in pieces. This results in yet another extended period of intense staring between the predator and the prey, lasting for several minutes. The clip then transitions to a different moment, showing the man's progress along the trail. Regrettably, he appears to still be in the company of the lion. The creature, thankfully, becomes disinterested and casually departs as the man remains in a state of complete shock. In Arizona, what started as a regular hunting outing with some dogs and horses took a spine-chilling turn. Curtis and his friends from the eHunter YouTube channel decided to make the most of a beautiful day by heading out on their horses for a hunting trip. Everything appeared to be proceeding according to their plan until one of the dogs spotted something. Trust dogs with their incredible senses. They sniffed out a trapped mountain lion, drawing the attention of Curtis and his friends. Throughout this time, the lion stayed put, responding to the dog's incessant barks with its unsettling hisses, trying to establish dominance despite its trapped state. Eventually, the predator managed to find a way to wriggle through an opening and swiftly ascended a nearby mountain, fading into the desert landscape. In a rural area, 4 courageous men came across a fierce mountain lion caught in a trap. Undeterred by the challenge, they resolved to attempt the seemingly impossible task of freeing the predator. An impossible task that could land their remains in the stomach of this mountain lion in a split second. Upon discovering the distressed creature, they armed themselves with restraining poles and cautiously advanced towards it. The aggressive Cougar's displeasure at their presence was quite evident. Having meticulously plotted their approach, one of the men bravely endeavoured to hook the animal with its pole and draw it closer. The ensuing events were nothing short of extraordinary. Now liberated from the trap, the men were faced with the final step, to set the animal free and run for their lives. However, their initial plan faced a hiccup. Nevertheless, they managed to retrieve their restraining pole safely and continued their day with a sense of accomplishment. 2 friends on a hunting trip went roaming around the remote, deep forest in South Dakota. They soon noticed freshly made lion footprints in the snow, yet these brave friends decided not to think about it and continued their day. A wise person would have chosen to flee when they still had the chance. Only a few minutes later, these friends discovered something that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. They were staring into the eyes of a huge mountain lion. These 2 began to panic till they found out the mountain lion was fixated on its unsuspecting prey, a deer not so far away. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a lion dashes onto the scene. It rapidly races up the hill, spends some time at the peak, and then descends the opposite side before vanishing into the forest. Oh, wait till you see number 1 on our list. This little kitty was in a pretty bad mood. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any other awesome videos. Now imagine being trapped inside your house because a cougar is relaxing on your front porch. The sight of this would send a chill down my spine, a reminder that even in the beauty of nature, horror can be lurking just around the corner. However, the relaxation of this animal is disrupted by the arrival of police officers, and this mountain lion is not so happy about its unexpected visitors. Observing the police car pull up to the side, a man decides to capture the moment on camera. Gradually, the courageous officers move towards the porch, cautiously holding their firearms and peering through the fence in an attempt to spot the animal. As they draw closer, the predator becomes acutely aware of their presence, exhibiting signs of tension. One of the armed officers boldly moves across the yard, triggering a swift response from the animal. Eventually, the officers move into the tall grass and the clip ends abruptly. Unfortunately, we can't tell what became of the officers, leaving the subsequent event shrouded in mystery. This is an unnerving encounter with two innocent hikers in Sequoia National Park, trapped face to face with a mountain lion. As the creature's snarls and growls fill the air, you're reminded that not all who enter the darkness return unchanged. As they were walking down the trail, Brian McKinney and his friend noticed the animal just a few feet away from them. Brian's inquisitiveness gets the best of him as he moves closer for a more detailed observation of the mountain lion. Regrettably, his subsequent discovery is far from what he anticipated. Uncertain of what to do in this situation, they soon start to discuss their next line of action. The ferocious animal, appearing poised to launch an attack, engages in an intense stare with the friends for what likely felt like hours. Eventually, they make the decision to cautiously depart the vicinity, walking away at a deliberate pace. Should they have remained there, the lion might have decided to cut the staring contest by having them both for lunch. A group of unsuspecting friends in Oregon, Cody Fox, a YouTuber, and his friends go for a hunting trip. They go about their business, unaware of the malevolent presence lurking nearby, a mountain lion on the prowl, eyes gleaming like a predator from your worst nightmares. After walking around the dark corners of nature for a couple of hours, fear gripped them all as they came across what seemed to be freshly made mountain lion footprints. This moment is likened to times when you hope your eyes deceive you. Although terrifying, they decided not to completely panic and go on with their day like normal. This very quickly changed after they heard a low lion growl coming from right behind them. As they froze, thinking of what to do next, Cody decided to fire a warning shot to scare the lion away. Luckily, it worked. With the mountain lion out of sight, this group of friends decided to end their hunting expedition to save their lives. Struth, we're almost at number 1. Please subscribe and like this video if you think it's amazing. Now, this next encounter is scary enough to feature in your next nightmare. You can't help but feel a huge sense of dread while watching this video of a YouTuber, Trevor Rasmussen, hiking through the Glacier National Park. A sense of impending doom hangs heavy in the air as Trevor senses something sinister above the trail, an unseen pursuer that could strike at any moment. This ruthless mountain lion had been stalking him long before he noticed. After spotting the animal staring at him from down the trail, he immediately pulled out his camera to record what he considered a rare encounter. A few seconds later, the mountain lion unfortunately begins approaching him. This YouTuber's awe soon turned into fear as the animal walked down the side of the trail and into some bushes in hopes of continuing on its path. Miraculously, the mountain lion chose to attend to its own affairs, abandoning its hopes for a satisfying and fleshy meal. Meanwhile, Trevor remains in a state of complete shock. That was a close call with death. Let's take you through a nightmarish encounter that happened in eastern Oregon. This clip starts with a guy on a death bike that starts to accelerate really fast into the woods. What happened next will blow your mind. A huge mountain lion ran out on the road just as this guy was approaching at high speed. 2 casualties would have resulted from their collision, but amazingly, none got hit. Take a look at this clip in slow motion. You can see how amazing this lion's reflexes are. The lion was able to stop a few seconds before the bike passed, saving both its life and the biker's life. And finally, the apex of our terror-infused journey. Imagine innocently going fishing only to hear hissing sounds from afar. You're on a boat, fishing in the middle of nowhere with danger approaching. This clip starts with a man recording a video after spotting a mountain lion in the water swimming towards him. The man stands defiantly with his fishing rod against the mountain lion, trying to shoo it away from entering his boat. Doesn't seem like a smart move. One would think the lion would back down, but instead, it reinforces its plan to enter the boat by all means, and the fishing rod doesn't seem to be helping. Eventually, the lion gives up and swims away. The heart-stopping scene between human and beast ignites a primal fear that lingers long after the encounter ends.
Cheers for watching and good on you, mate. Now, if you want to be a cool cobber, give this next video a burl.